You got the touch, you got the power. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Ghastly Toy Crypt. This is a little bit of a different video. I don't do these very often, but there is no toy hunt video this week. I've been taking a little bit of a break from the toy hunt videos. Don't worry, they'll be back. our bi-monthly, but yeah, the toy swap that we have at the beginning of every other month is coming up in a couple weeks, and you know I'm gonna be there, and you know I'm gonna film, so toy hunt videos are coming back. But I did want to talk about something a little special for this video, and I wanted to talk about this guy right here. You probably all recognize this fine bot here. This is none other than the Autobot leader, Optimus Prime. Now, as many of you know, if you've been watching the videos for as long as I've been putting them out, Transformers is my absolute favorite toy line of all time. And because of that, the cartoon is also my favorite cartoon of all time. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've rewatched the original 1980s Generation 1 cartoon, as well as watched the 1986 animated feature film over and over and over and over again. And anytime I get out of collecting for, say, a year, 2 years, 3 years, it's always Transformers that pulls me back into that collecting mindset. And as you can see here, what you see behind me, there's some Star Wars stuff here, but all the Transformers, you can't see my Decepticons because they're on this shelf right here. All of that was because all of these new Transformers that they've been making since, let's say, I don't know, the Combiner Wars era, have been pretty solid. Now, my favorite stuff personally has been from the War for Cybertron Siege era on up, but I've seen how far Transformers has come just in the last 10 years, and it's blowing my mind every time. As far as the cartoon goes, I've always known about Transformers. It's, to the best of my recollection and knowledge, it was the very first cartoon that I ever watched, and it was the very first cartoon that I fell in love with. Sure, a lot of other 80s cartoons, such as The Real Ghostbusters, GoBots, and even some of the fun ones like, the Smurfs and some other... and some of like the like Visionaries and Jason the Wheel Warrior, like they all had their place. Mask was another great one, but for me, always it was Transformers, and a lot of people find that very surprising because I was born in 1983, so I was only 1 year old, 1 year old when the cartoon came out and debuted. I feel like I was younger than 3 when I found out about Transformers, because it would always play in syndication in my little hometown of Houma, Louisiana. So shout out to South Louisiana, if any of you guys know where that is. And our local Fox affiliate would always play Transformers in syndication at 3:30 p.m. on the weekdays. And that's where I got my fill of Transformers. I could even kind of imagine the Fox affiliate ad for the time to watch Transformers that would play during the commercial breaks. And I know that I enjoyed Transformers before my 3rd birthday, because for my 3rd birthday, I received a Transformer as a gift from my grandparents. And I do remember kind of being at Walmart. This is way before a super Walmart was a thing, way before like the big grocery store versions of Walmart, when it was just the regular size normal Walmart. And we were going down the toy aisle. My grandmother, she said, which one do you like? Which one do you think looks good? Because I don't think she knew the difference either. That's what she would do. She would just, all right, which one looks good? All right, get that one. So I picked up a Cyclonus figure. And it was specifically the Cyclonus Target Master version. So it was the second release of Cyclonus after the animated film came out. And I have it somewhere around here. It's probably back in this closet. It's one of the few Generation 1 toys that I still have that I held on to for sentimental reasons. There's always been one constant with me collecting Transformers, and it has been Optimus Prime. No matter what version or what cartoon, I always seem to go first and seek for the Optimus Prime of that set. A little bit of backstory with me and Optimus. I actually never had the original Generation 1 Optimus Prime toy. I've played with it many times growing up. I've had friends that had the original Optimus Prime. It's just one that I never was fortunate to have growing up. So the original 1984 figure, never had it, unfortunately. My first Optimus Prime figure that I remember getting was for Christmas, and I can't remember what year it was. It had to have been 1987, maybe 1988 at the latest. And I received the Power Master Optimus Prime. And I absolutely loved this figure. Not only was it one prime, but it was two primes in one. You can make the smaller prime out of the cab of the truck, or you can make the super prime or the Power Master Prime when you fold them up and combine them with the trailer. And of course, you had to have this little Power Master guy plugged into his chest, and he had the guns, and he had the shoulder cannons, and he just looked massive. Like it's what you think Optimus Prime should look like, just big and beefy and just like a badass, really. So, and that was the first Optimus Prime I had. I unfortunately don't have him anymore. Man, I really wish I did. I wish I still did. And I do remember seeing him at a show that I was filming at a couple of years ago. And my buddy Richard was actually thinking about getting it. And we ended up both passing on it. And I kind of regret it now because it was a very good price. Anyway, I digress. I never had the original Prime. I had Power Master Optimus Prime. And then in the early 90s, after Transformers had been canceled as a cartoon series and the toy line was kind of going under, or had gone under actually, there hadn't been Transformers on the shelves for a handful of years. Generation 2 came out, or the Transformers Generation 2, and they were the same old figures but with slightly new paint jobs or decals. And I remember I came home for my birthday. This had to have been 92, maybe 93. And my mom got me the Transformers Generation 2 Sideswipe. And instead of a red Lamborghini with black trim, he was a black Lamborghini with red trim. And of course, after I opened him up, I played with him. I saw on the back, oh, there's an Optimus Prime coming out. So I ended up getting some birthday money, and my mom took me once again to the local Walmart, and I saw that the Optimus Prime Generation 2 figure had come out. And it was slightly different. The trailer colors were different. It had like this little electronic talking box that you can plug into the trailer, and it came with it didn't come with his original rifle. It came with new rifles that had like firing missiles. And I was just in awe. Like, I had to have this Optimus Prime. There was only one problem. He was $30, and I had $20 in my pocket. So my mom said, what you could do is take that $20, go to the back of the store, and put it on layaway. I don't know if you're familiar with layaway, but it was a thing back in the 80s and early 90s where if you didn't have enough money for something, you would go and put a deposit down on it, and these stores like Walmart and Kmart and so on and so forth would just hold it for you until you had more money to pay it off, and then you could take it home. So I was like, all right, I think that's what I'm going to do. I could have easily spent $20 on two other Transformers, but no, I had to have Optimus Prime. I took it back to the layaway. I put my $20 down, and I just had to wait. I was 9, maybe 10. I didn't have any kind of income. I didn't know when I was going to get another $10. Like, I was like, nope, I'm going to do it. A couple of weeks later, it was Valentine's Day. I woke up, and my mom would always give me and my brother and my sister, Valentine's Day cards and Valentine's Day candy the morning before we go to school. So that morning, I got my normal Valentine's Day card and I got some Valentine's Day candy. I went to school. I came back and my mom had this little box wrapped up in just like very generic brown bag wrapping paper type thing, and it had like a little bit like a string of a bow on it, but not really. It was just kind of tied in a knot. And she goes, "Oh, I think this is for you." And I opened it up, and what was it? It was that Optimus Prime. My mom went back to Walmart and paid the extra $10, and she said she was very proud of me. Instead of blowing the money on things that I didn't want, that I actually put it towards something that I really, really wanted and I was willing to wait for. So she went and paid the extra $10 difference so I could get my Optimus Prime Generation 2. A few years later, something that you should know about my hometown is that there was not a Toys R Us. There was KB Toys inside of a mall. And let me tell you, I loved that KB Toys. So growing up, I was never a Toys R Us kid. I was a KB Toys kid. And but I never really got a chance to go to the mall very often. So when we went to the mall, it was a very special occasion. Well, one day I was hanging out with my God, what was it? Oh no, it was so my parents had since been divorced, and my mom was dating this guy who was an artist, and he would travel to and from New Orleans because he was airbrushing the Mardi Gras floats. And I asked if I could help one day, and he's like, "Yeah, sure." So we drove up to New Orleans, and we sat there and we painted some of the. He actually let me help, so I actually got to help paint some of the Mardi Gras floats for the Cleopatra parade that they were having. And on the way back, he's like, "Hey, isn't there a Toys R Us around here?" And I was like, "I don't know. Is there?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's go." So he surprised me with going to Toys R Us. And Transformers Generation 2 was still being produced, but you could tell that it was that line was starting to go towards the end of its run. And so I went back to the action figure section. Well, we got to the Toys R Us, and I went back to the action figure section. And of course, Transformers is the first thing that I'm going to. I was into a lot of other stuff at this time, like the Toy Biz, X-Men figures, and the Batman animated series stuff. But it was always going back to Transformers. And I was looking at some of the ones, and I just seen a commercial for not only a new Optimus, but a new Megatron. And I couldn't decide which one I liked because I ended up seeing both of them on the pegs. And I believe now it's referred to as the Hero Optimus Prime and the Hero Megatron. I think Hero was the class size figures. Now there's Core, Deluxe, Voyager, and Leader. So I think Hero was the size class. And what was something very interesting was that it was a new style of Optimus Prime, but he had this gimmick where he had this air pump, and you could smash the air pump, and he would shoot a missile. And it was the coolest thing. I was like, you know what? I want it. So I got it. At some point, I did cut off the little air pump part because it was kind of annoying to transform him and have to keep plugging it into his backpack. So I just said, to heck with it. So I cut it off, and I just had this Optimus Prime figure. And I played with that thing so much up until a few years later, whenever I was leaving elementary school and going into middle school. My grandmother, who just so happened to work at the J.C. Penney at our local mall, said, "Hey, congratulations on passing the 6th grade and going to 7th grade. You're going to be in middle school. Why don't you swing by the store and, I'll give you some graduation money," is essentially what it was. And I said, "Sure." So my mom brought me to the mall. I went up, and of course, I got like a $20 bill, and it was like $20 or $30. I think it was a $20 bill. And I knew exactly what I wanted to do. On the other side of the mall was the KB Toys. And that KB Toys was just so happening to start, just so happening? I don't know. And that KB Toys just so happened to start getting some of their marked down Generation 2 figures in. And not only did I get the Generation 2 Megatron, which was the big green tank with the electronics, he was marked down to $9.99. But I was able to get the Laser Optimus Prime, which was like the definitive Generation 2 Optimus Prime. He was like the big oil tanker he had like this black to red fade on the cab. And man, let me tell you, not since the Power Master Prime had I loved a new Optimus Prime figure. That Laser Prime was fantastic. So much so that I absolutely love like the new Transformers Legacy version, because I had to get it just because I have so much nostalgia for that figure. But that Laser Optimus Prime got so much, and I had it probably well into my high school years and probably even past my high school years. To be honest with you, I don't know what happened to it because after I graduated high school, I moved a couple times, and a lot of my old toys and collectibles were either just thrown away unbeknownst to me or were I just accidentally left. Um, and then around that time is when uh, Transformers Armada came out, and of course, new Transformers. I had, there were the Beast Wars and there was the Beast Machines, and I had a couple of those. I did have an Optimus Primal, but as much as I love Optimus Primal, it's not Optimus Prime. And I ended up going to a Walmart after they had announced that the Transformers Armada cartoon was debuting, and of course the new toys were on the pegs. And what was the first thing I got? I got a Transformers Armada Optimus Prime, and it was an okay figure. I didn't love it as much as my Laser Optimus Prime figure, but it was a fun figure. It was very reminiscent of the Power Master Prime, where you were able to transform the robot or the cab into the robot, but then his trailer also made a base where you combine the two. I don't know, it was just very reminiscent. I thought it was a pretty fun gimmick, and I that was probably the last Optimus Prime I remember getting for quite some time. And it probably wasn't until, because I skipped over Energon. I just didn't like the way that Optimus Prime looked. And then I skipped over Cybertron. I didn't even see the cartoon. And they were doing a lot of quirky stuff with Optimus Prime figures. But the Generation 1 figure was always the one that stood out to me. It wasn't until Transformers Animated, where I started to kind of take notice of the new art style. And I loved the new art style. So I ended up picking up a Prime from that series. And from there, it gets a little hazy because it was around 2007, and I kind of went back and forth. There were some various Optimus Prime figures. There was like the Alternator Optimus Prime, which turned into a Ford F-150. There was the Transformers Classics Optimus Prime that did turn into an 18-wheeler, but it didn't look quite as G1. And then there was one that was a little bit more stylized, whereas like windshields or his doors were on his arms. And I don't know, it's stuff that just didn't really grab me. And there had been tons of reissues of the G1 Optimus Prime over in Japan between now and then. But it wasn't until Siege and the Siege trilogy where I thought we were getting a proper Optimus Prime. And that's where this guy comes in. This is the Earthrise Optimus Prime. And when I immediately took him out of the box, I thought to myself, this is the greatest Optimus Prime action figure that I've ever owned. Hold on. Let me drop this in here real quick because I forgot to say something. I actually did have the first two Masterpiece Optimus Primes. I remember getting the first one on a discount from Toys R Us after I moved up to Georgia because he had a damaged box. So that would have been about 2004. So I did have that one, and I had it for the absolute longest time till about 2012, 2011, whenever the Masterpiece MP10 came out. I was very fortunate enough to get in on the first wave of pre-orders from Toys R Us because it was $99, and back then that was a lot of money for a toy. But this one came with the trailer, whereas the MP01 didn't. So once I got my MP10 Prime, I sold my MP01, and then it wasn't until after I started to get into the main line again, where I decided I wasn't going to do Masterpiece figures because at that time I really thought that they were only going to do a handful and they were going to be done. I didn't realize it was going to be a whole decade plus long thing of Masterpiece figures. So I did have that one. I did sell it once I started to get really deep back into mainline. So I think I only sold it like 4 or 5 years ago. So I had it for quite a while. Like I was saying, when I got this, I thought to myself, this is the greatest Optimus Prime figure that I've ever had, I've ever owned. Like the proportions, it just looks great. He's in scale pretty much with the other figures. And I thought this is going to be hard to top. Until this guy came out. Now, this is what the whole video is here. I know I've been talking for about 15, 20 minutes, but this right here is what I'm here to talk about. This is the Transformers Missing Link Optimus Prime. If you're not familiar with the Missing Link Optimus Prime is, I'll go ahead and show you. Let's take a look inside this box. Somebody at Takara Tomy decided it would be a great idea to not necessarily reissue an old Optimus Prime, but make a new mold of the old Optimus Prime, but give it modern articulation. And it's called the Missing Link. And listen, the reason I bought this was because I didn't have that Generation 1 Optimus Prime, like I was talking about earlier. So I figured this would be the best chance for me to get a Generation 1-esque Optimus Prime with a box, with the artwork, even though it's different artwork from the original one. But I wanted that feeling of getting an Optimus Prime. I wanted that feeling of getting a Generation 1 Optimus Prime. So I'm going to turn the camera around. We're going to break this bad boy open, and we're going to check out this new articulation for this Missing Link Optimus Prime. All right, here he is. And I've not opened him yet. I've specifically been waiting to document this on video because it's not very often I get to open a Generation 1-esque Optimus Prime. So I want to go ahead and give a quick look at the box art here. I love how he's jumping. Oh, God, I'm really curious to see what all this modern articulation will bring. Let's see. There we go. We have the side of the box there. We have the original 84 artwork that was on all of the boxes. We have the tech specs where you had to use the little red strip to see his stats. I don't know Japanese, so I can't read any of that stuff. But, you know, it's an Optimus Prime figure. So let's see. We got more artwork here. We have artwork up on the top here. And we have a lot of Japanese writing on the bottom that, again, I can't read. Let's get this guy cracked open. I've had this thing for almost a month now, and I've been trying to carve out time to make this video. And I wanted to make sure that this was just kind of like a special documentation thing for me, if anything. If you're watching and you're enjoying it, thank you so much for coming along for the ride. But this was really for me, more so than anybody else. Let's go ahead and we'll open that up. And oh, nice, the flap didn't crease. So sometimes whenever you open these guys up, their flap creases here. And look at that, we've got, I can't go back too far. Let me see if I can pull the camera back. There we go. We've got our C01. We got some little finger tabs here so we can pull on the styrofoam. Oh, look at this. Oh my God. Oh, that looks so beautiful. That looks so beautiful. Let's see, we have our paperwork here. We'll put this off to the side for a second, but look at that. Looks like I'm gonna have to put roller together. It looks like the wheels are on the sprues here, and he comes with a shiny matrix. Let's go ahead and put that right there for a second. But while we put that over there, let me tear into this bag here of the paperwork and see what this comes with. All right, first things first is we get a card. Cybertron, which I know at some point in the Japanese cartoon, they were not known as Autobots. They were called Cybertrons, and the Decepticons were renamed Destrons. But there we go. There's our Optimus Prime. It's not really a card. It's like, it's got a little hole at the top, so I'm not sure if it's like a badge or if it's just something you can stick a tack through if you want to hang it on the wall or something. What else do we have? We have, oh, look at that. We have that red strip so we can read those tech specs. Let me grab the box here real quick. Let's see what would be easier. What if I did, oh, we could do that, or I could just do this. Yeah, look at that. Boom. All right, put this back off to the side. Let's see. we get, it looks like we have some matte shiny decals. I guess these will go inside the trailer, maybe on Optimus's legs. I'm not so much a fan of decals these days whenever paint applications are so good. But I do know that a lot of the original Transformers fans from my era really love all of the shiny, like the vac metal decals, and I do like this, that this is a matte instead of a gloss. So that's actually pretty interesting. That's cool. Let's see, what do we have here? We have this little pamphlet, More Than Meets the Eye, Takara Tomy. And let's see what. It's just kind of like an ad for the toy that you already bought. It just kind of tells you what it's all about, what it has. Also, let's see, we got a Megatron here and a Soundwave. I don't know if that is foreshadowing for future Missing Link releases, because I know we just got a Bumblebee and a Cliff Jumper announcement, but let's see. Oh, this is a kind of an advertisement for this toy, but also kind of an advertisement for the other toy, because there's another version of it where there is no trailer, and I believe that one has animation accurate paint job, and whereas the big one with the trailer has toy accurate paint job, which I'm fine with. So, all right, here we go. Because I mean, you gotta have the trailer. I just feel like an Optimus Prime without a trailer is just, I don't know, it's not Optimus. We have all of these instructions that are in Japanese, but luckily they, you know, like IKEA instructions. Just look at the pictures, right? So, all right, we'll take a look at those. But let's get this guy out of his styrofoam. Let's go ahead. We'll take out the Energon axe, and that's a nice, solid piece of plastic right there. Let's see, we have the two sprues of accessories for Roller here. We'll put that right there. We have Prime's Ion Blaster. And I'm really excited for this because I never had a Generation 1 Prime or a Generation 1 Prime mold where he came with this blaster. So very excited for that. Put you off to the side. And looks like we have a not complete Roller. So we will get him put together. And we have some more Roller accessories, it looks like. We have a nice vac metal matrix, the Autobot matrix of leadership. Take a look at that. That is really cool. You can put it in Optimus's chest here. But let's release the big guy here. All right, let's see. How do I want to do this? Let me grab the trailer first, because the trailer is hitched inside. Oh, there we go. There we go. Here we go. Ho, 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 ho. There we go. So we have some plastic that shielded Prime from the styrofoam. And look at that. There he is, rolling in all of his glory. Look at that. Oh my God, that is a thing of beauty. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit. That is a thing of beauty right there. Oh man, I'm instantly just transported back to, you know, the 1980s, where again all my friends had this guy. Oh, he rolls so great. I'm just gonna do this for the next 15 minutes, so you guys can just watch this. All right, I'm moving on. Let's see. Let's take a look at this trailer. Look at that paint job. I never had a trailer like this with the blue and the silver stripe with the Autobot symbol. It looks great. Go. The bottom, we have his little stands here, so whenever you do open up the trailer, you put roller in here, but you also can crack this guy open. Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. Let me go ahead and adjust the camera. You can see already, is that paintwork or is that decal? I think that's decals. Yeah, it feels like a decal. But we have our little trailer bot dude thing. I don't know what this guy is called. So I just assume he's all part of Roller. But we can extend him up, and he has a couple of plug-in missiles that can go right here, and it looks like you can still fire him. He's got a claw right here, and I'm gonna push this back just so we can get him in the shot right there. Zoom out just a little bit. There we go. Look at that. I'm an expert cameraman. Not really. And so we have the little claw that can open up. We have like little battle stations for tiny guys back from the Diaclone days. And look at that. Oh man. And something about this one is this one can detach. Let's see. I believe this guy right here can detach. Let me look at the instructions real quick because I'm not about to break this. Please hold. Yes, he does come out and he actually slides forward. There we go. And oh look, he's got wheels, so he just latches in right there. And I believe this can also be put on the back of Optimus Prime for a backpack. So we will take a look at that here shortly. Let's stop gushing about the trailer here. I know everybody's watching because they want to see Prime. So let's go put this guy back. We'll close him up. And on to the main course. All right, let's take a look at him here real quick before I transform him. I do remember that the original one was only pegged in by one peg. It looks like this one has a one peg, but it's not a circle shape. So these would actually turn and twist. They weren't supposed to, but you could do it, just the nature of the peg. Let's see here. We got just some engravings and markings. We've got die cast on the toes, just like the original Optimus Prime. We've got die cast for the cab/chest piece. And you notice that there are no peg holes here for the fists because the fists will flip out right over here. So let's go ahead and get this guy transformed and see what we can see. Okay, here we go. It's the same but different when you want to transform this guy. You know, normally when you have the original one, you drop the legs down, you drop the feet down, pull out the arms and the shoulders, flip the head, boom, you're there. Just a few more extra steps for this guy because he's packing all that sweet, sweet modern articulation. So let's go ahead and we'll start with the arms. So you get a finger in there and you can see his fist is hidden by his truck grill, and you'll pop that out, swing his arm out, and then you can see, oh man, listen to that ratchet. Oh, you didn't get that on the G1 figure. But we have this new molding and paint work right here instead of a decal, and that looks so good. We'll go ahead and slide that arm up because we got that sweet, sweet articulation. Look at that. Look. Oh my God. All right, let me transform him. We're going to do the same on the other side. Boom. Get out of here. Bam. And we will bring that arm out and down. We'll flip the head. Oh, look, he's even got that sweet Autobot rub sign. Flip the head. And then right here, it's a little bit different. We're going to go ahead and hinge the arms up. And these wheels actually lock in the legs. So you're going to pop these wheels aside, and there's these tabs right here that actually hold the legs in. So you're gonna do this, and then you can kind of split them, and you'll bring them down like so. Listen to those ratchets on his knees. Ah, man, you didn't get those on the original one either. But we'll put those wheels back into place, and we'll flip the toes up, and the toes have swivel. Look at that. Ankle pivots. And then we are practically done, but if you so choose to pose your Optimus Prime with an ab crunch, let's see if I can get it. He does have an ab crunch right here. And oh, look at that. Bam. I don't want him looking down though, so we're gonna put it right back if I can. Oh my god. That is a tight joint. So if you use the Optimus Prime ab crunch, just be careful that it is indeed a tight joint. So, there we go. Got him. Let's see. Does he have? He's got a little bit of a waist swivel. So you can't turn it 180 degrees, but you can get it to one side a little bit. And he does not have thigh swivel. So, but listen, I think the fact that this figure just exists at all is incredible. So let me go ahead and readjust the camera. And that is our base Missing Link. Look at this. Hinged hands. I never have to worry about losing the hands again. Let's see. Let's get that matrix in them. Let's go ahead and let's get them standing up. Let's see if I can get him in a good pose. There we go. He's not as sturdy. Maybe it's just because of the pose I have him in. But let's give him that matrix. Can he hold it? I don't know. Let's see if he can hold it first. Let's see what we can do about lighting the darkest hour right here on the Jordan Gasly channel. So it doesn't really go in all the way. So you kind of have to hook it in by his thumbs, which... All right, there we go. There he is. Lighting the darkest hour. You got the touch. You got the power. All right, moving on. Let's get those arms back down. Let's open this chest up to see this matrix chamber he's got over here. Flip the head back. Bring this bad boy down. And look at that nice chrome matrix chamber. And I believe this is removable. Yeah, it is. It is removable, and you can have the two seats like the original Optimus Prime. But I'm leaving this bad boy in because this looks too cool. How many of you wanted a matrix for your original Generation 1 Optimus? I know that there have been a bunch of third parties and like do-it-yourselfers that would 3D print matrices or matrices for their Optimus Primes. But now we've got one. Look at that. It just looks ridiculous. Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's put his blaster in over here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Look at that. I wonder if I can get him in that sweet... his head turns. The original one, the head didn't turn. There's no tilt back and forth, but you can use the old trick with this guy, with the head flap. Let's see. There we go. Let me adjust the camera right here. And just for comparison, let's bring in Earthrise Prime. Look at that. Listen, I've got to be honest with you. I think these are the two best Optimus Prime figures that have ever been created. This is fantastic. I love them. Or at least I don't own any third parties, so I'm gonna say the best mainline Optimus Prime figures that have ever been made. But I wonder if I can do like the Spider-Man meme with him, just the ooh, ooh. Okay, all right, Earthrise, we'll get you out of here. And let me go ahead and check out the axe. Even though he only used it in one episode, it is still a signature item for Optimus Prime. And check this out. It's hinged. That is cool. We will go ahead and just plug that in to his fist right there. Seal that in, and look at that. Ah, there we go. You're junk, Megatron. Junk. Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. I love this. Oh my god. All right. I'm very giddy because this is fantastic. This is the Optimus Prime from the 80s I wanted so long ago. And I love it so much. So much. Let's see. Let me get Roller put together and we'll see what he looks like all put together with his trailer and everything. All right. We got all the wheels. We have our Roller. Let's go ahead and put the wheels on Roller. There we have our Roller. And we can do a couple of other things here. We've got these two little pieces and this tube, which connect together. This little tube can slot into this little gun. And then we have this, I don't know, little mechanical, it kind of looks like a little, I don't know, spigot of some sort, like a, I don't know if it's like a gas can, an oil can, or if it's, I don't know, something that somebody can hold to, like, I don't know, weld or something. But we have this little spot on Roller that can rotate. So he has his little, I guess, siren. And then we have the peg here. So whenever Prime has his blaster, where did I put that blaster? Did I already lose it? Oh no, there it is. You can put that on Roller. And he rolls, roll, roll, roll. And then you can put this guy on here too. But I don't know what you do with this guy. He's just around. Whatever. And now that I'm thinking about it, I believe the Generation 2 Roller was blue. I feel like I'm remembering that correctly. Let's go ahead and bring in our trailer one more time. Go ahead and open them up one more time. There we go. We can have our trailer here. And I'm just knocking stuff all over my desk here with my elbow. It's my ring light is right over here, and it's tight quarters. Listen, I got desk space is a hot commodity around here. So let's go ahead and get this all set up. I'll raise this up just a little bit. And I have those two little missiles I was talking about earlier, and they fit in. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy there. Easy. This is a friendly channel. Wasn't trying to get anybody. Let's see. That can go in, and there we go. And then, oh man, should I? No, I'm not gonna. Let's see. There we have our Roller and our trailer. Bring this guy out, and we'll bring Optimus Prime back in. We're gonna take his axe out, and we'll give him his blaster. There we go. Let me see. Again, desk space, hot commodity. There we go. Look at that. Oh, that is so cool. Man. Again, just I know I'm not the only person that thinks this, but this is the Optimus Prime I wanted in the 80s, and it is so good. I wanted him when I was 5, and now I have him when I'm 41. So, listen, better late than never. That's what I say. Let me see. I want to do one more thing, and then we will call it a video. All right, another one of the things, play features that you can do with a trailer is it kind of becomes this I don't know, mobile commands slash, I don't know, chamber center, something or another. And one of the things you could do is you could always have Optimus Prime go back to his trailer, and this dude can like work on him and recharge. And you know what? For fun, we'll bring this Optimus back in right here. Listen, as much as I love this figure, the trailer for this guy, he's kind of lackluster. Tell you what, let me grab the trailer. So the next cut, you'll see the Optimus trailer right there. Yeah, so that's the Earthrise trailer, and it's small. It's small. It's lackluster, but man, that figure is good. So we'll go ahead and open this guy, and oh boy, it's apples and oranges, really. It's just not as in depth as the Missing Link Optimus. But there we go. There's our Earthrise trailer and our Missing Link trailer, and I can just barely get everything in there. Can we bring this guy down a little bit? Yeah, we probably could. Still missing some, but that's all right. God, I love this. This is fantastic, and I still love this. And this will be my de facto Prime on the shelf until we get maybe that rumored Studio Series 40th anniversary Optimus Prime. But God, this just is so beautiful. Look at that. Let me see. Can I get them both showing off their matrices? Let's see. We got this matrix, and then we got this matrix right here. There we go. I really don't know what else to talk about. Like, I'm just basking in the glory. And there you go. Again, I've said it many times during this video. This is the Optimus Prime I wanted in the 80s. I absolutely love it. It's so good. The quality is fantastic. The plastic's great. The ratchet joints, the paint applications for the Autobot symbols, and the extra molding on top of the forearms. The hands that tuck into the sides. You don't have to lose the pieces. The leg articulation, the toe ankle pivot articulation. Like, this is just so good. So good. Look at him. You can have him just kind of like galloping through the I don't know, does your Optimus Prime gallop? Mine does. Sometimes when Optimus Prime wants to gallop, he gallops. He's the leader of the Autobots. I'm not going to tell him that he can't. Anyway, I'm just going to gush on this figure if I don't end the video. But thank you all for watching. Again, we're taking a break. We'll be back with the toy hunt videos soon. So give me a couple weeks and I'll be kind of back at it. And then at the end of June, June 21st, we're going to Joe Fest. And Joe Fest is looking really stacked this year. I'm going to be there on press this time. So big thank you to Joe Fest for offering me a press pass. A bunch of great personalities are going to be there. Pixel Dan is going to be there. Dan Larson is going to be there. A bunch of toy companies are going to be there, like Animal Warriors The Kingdom. So Spiro will be there. The Four Horsemen will be there. And geez, who else? Fresh Monkey Fiction is going to be there. I feel like I know I'm forgetting something or someone, but more independent toy companies are going to be there. I'd heard that they might be looking into getting a bigger venue, but don't quote me on that because I don't have that information. God, I just love this figure. Toy hunts are coming back. The toy swap is in a couple weeks. I'll film that. Keep an eye out for that. Until then, we're going to end the video right here. So thank you so much for watching. You could have used your time to watch any other 40-minute video about Optimus Prime, but you chose to use your time to watch this one, and I greatly thank you for it. So thank you so much. If you haven't yet, please consider hitting the subscribe button if you liked what you saw. Hit the like button if you like what you saw. And if you're so inclined, go ahead and share it with some of your Optimus Prime loving buddies. I would really appreciate it. We're so close to getting the 3,000 views, 3,000 view hours. I was so close. I was up to about 50 hours away, and then I kind of dropped back down to like, I think it's like 2870 something. So I have to make those hours up. So if you're so inclined, please just go ahead and watch some of the older videos too. I would really appreciate it. Yeah, and so I'm not close to monetization. Listen, I don't think I'm never gonna make a living off of this channel, but you know, if I can make a little extra scratch along the way to help pay for those guys, or these guys right here, I wouldn't be mad. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. I said that already. We'll catch you in the next one. We'll see you real soon. Stay spooky, and for this special Optimus Prime version, we're gonna sign off completely with Autobots roll out.